So we heard from the very beginning, Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam Shabde Parechanishnatam Brahmarupasamasrayam. How we should approach Guru and what should be the basis of that inquiry. It says Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Remember hearing Prabhupada explain to us, what's the difference between Shreya and Prayas? Saying, Prayas is what, on the basis of who you conceive yourself to be, you think will be immediately beneficial to you. Right? But there's a lot of ifs there, or dependent things. How you conceive yourself. On the basis of how you've conceived yourself, who you are, you're thinking, this will be beneficial or not. But then he told us of Shreya Uttamam. Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. To inquire about that which will be for your ultimate benefit. And that has to be based upon your ultimate identity or your permanent identity. So, we only come to know those things or have a glimpse of who we are by the grace of Sri Guru. Like Guru Maharaj is telling us, reality is a thing plus its potential. There's what it appears to be objectively, and then its potential, its prospect, its subjective identity. And he would say that he gathered this from Einstein. So I say, Guru Maharaj is a very modern thinker. He can, he's not moved by modern concepts or misconceptions, but he can, if there's something noteworthy there or valuable for us, he can extract that and Krishnaize it, so to speak. So, and he'll say, yes, reality is a thing plus its potential. What is your potential? Muktir hitvanyata rupam swaropena vibhastiti. The prospect of servitor identity in relation to Krishna. Jive Swarupai Krishna Nityadas, Mahaprabhu's teachings to Sanatana Goswami. Guru Maharaj would sometimes remind us that in the British times, as they were examining Gaudiya Math and the teachings of Saraswati Thakur and his followers, they said, these people, they're preaching slavery, and that is the degradation of a human being. We've learned through humanism, we've overcome those times. And Guru Maharaj said, no, to be the servant of Krishna is the most dignified position you can get. When Sanatana Goswami inquired from Mahaprabhu, Keami Kanyamai Jari Tapitroy, Iha Nahi Jani Kamane Hitohoy. Saying, who am I and why am I suffering from the threefold miseries? If I don't know this, how can I know what's ultimately beneficial for me? So, have a little water. Oh. So, Guru Maharaj is ever the one to give an appropriate example. When they said Gaudiya Math stands for slavery, and he said, Saraswati Thakur said, no, it's the dignity of the human race. He said, at the time in India, Mahatma Gandhi was on the rise in popularity and prominence, and the word was sent out that he needed an assistant, right? Let's say that, an assistant. So Guru Maharaj pointed out, who was volunteering to be his assistant? The wealthiest men in India the most educated, in other words, the greatest men in India were offering themselves to become his assistant, his servitor. And he said, why? Because they considered, he's so great, if I get even the least connection with him, that'll be good for me. So Guru Maharaj is giving this example to say, then who do you think Krishna is? To be the assistant or the servitor of Krishna is beyond your wildest dreams and imagination in terms of achievement. And the Brahma Samhita in the beginning where it says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha, Guru Maharaj will tell us, Sat means existence, Chit means knowledge, awareness, cognizance of one's existence. But then the third factor we become aware of, the prospect for what? Anandam, happiness, pleasure. And he reminds us that that's not a theistic pursuit, but it crosses all, whether one's a theist, agnostic, or atheist, they're all interested in this subject, happiness. Everyone wants happiness, love, fulfillment. But Guru Maharaj will point out, if you think of it as an object, then that means it's something lower than you. You can only acquire, control, and consume things that are lower than yourself. But if we conceive of happiness in terms of subjective fulfillment, then it means something higher than you. And that which is higher, you offer yourself to. Right? Difference between exploitation, renunciation, and dedication. So, Srila Prabhupada would say quite simply in his Bhagavad Gita, lines like, when he's talking about the necessity of approaching a guru, he'd say, when one realizes that material existence is a constant source of perplexity at every step, that person should approach a guru, right, for some adjustment, right? Or in Guru Maharaj's words, what? To acquire the proper angle of vision. Does that mean, oh, you'll be given a formula, some step and repeat process by doing which you'll acquire the proper angle of vision? No. It means that you're approaching someone who can see, and in service to them, they're transferring that seeing capacity to you. The primal guru mantra, Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksuram Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, acknowledges that one has eyes. Doesn't say one doesn't have eyes. It's acknowledging the supplicant saying, I have eyes, but my eyes are cataracted by ignorance or misconception, not being able to read things and see things properly. So, and what is the guru's position compared to? Like a surgeon using like laser precision, the laser-like precision of spiritual seeing. Shastra Chaksu, Jnana Chaksu, seeing through the eyes of scriptures. Even mundane, what do you say, analysts of literature, they'll say things like, to be inspired is to be influenced. Like everyone likes to think of themselves as an original. Some inspiration came down and now I've revealed this thing to the world. But they'll say, actually, to be inspired is to be under the influence of another person or another conception. Right? And when you trace any writer, thinker, artist, whoever it is, if you look more deeply, you'll find they have a guru, they have a teacher. And their teacher had a teacher, and so on and so forth. Right? So Srila Guru Maharaj, he would say not only that, but from this you can understand that really every guru is a student then. We're thinking of them as masters, teachers, and that's true. He's saying, but really, if you think about it more carefully, anyone who's the guru, actually, they're the student of another guru, who's the student of another guru, etc. So even no less than Mahaprabhu himself says, Gopi Bhartur Padakamaleo Dasa Dasanudasa. He's saying that what appears to be the servant of the servant, or the student of the student, if you want to say, what appears from an objective sense to be becoming slightly removed, he said, is actually bringing increased clarity. Guru Maharaj's telescopic system example. Like normally, if you put something in front of the eye, it creates opacity, right? But this might be the exception. They're lenses. If you put lenses in front of the eye, not only are they not creating opacity, they're creating clarity. So Guru Maharaj would say, the Guru Parampara is a series of lenses, like a series of devotional eyes, of devotional ways of seeing. And by linking them, adding them together, they're not taking you further away from the subject or intervening, but rather bringing you nearer and closer to ostensibly what you're searching for. So when Guru Maharaj makes a book like the Prapanna Jivanamritam, what is it really? It's heartfelt expressions from different devotees, what they've appreciated about Krishna, his devotees, and the spiritual line. So it's through their way of seeing. That's what we're expressing our gratitude for in a verse like Om Ajnana Timirandasya. When Guru Maharaj says, acquiring the proper angle of vision, that comes from these devotees, their heartfelt expressions. Even he went so far as to say, give the case of Yashoda, Krishna's mother. He said, we won't normally think of her as guru, right, or as an acharya. He said, but when some volcanic eruption of spiritual emotion comes from her heart, when it's expressed, anyone within the relativity of that makes progress, advances. That's why if you look in the Sharanagati of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, some of what is recorded in his songs are the sayings of what we call Jnana Shunya Bhaktas. Their devotion is not polluted by the necessity of knowing. He gives the example of the cowherd boys on the banks of the Jamuna when the waters are poisoned, and some of them are somewhat aware of that, but they're ready to drink water, and they're thinking, well, Krishna is here, so even if it is poison on some level, Krishna's here, what can harm us? They have that kind of faith. So it's transcending their analysis of mundane objective reality. And really, ultimately, that's what Guru Maharaj says the spiritual project is. In the midst of being bombarded by external things and the objective world, is how to culture subjective internal seeing. So one of his consistent themes is form and substance. Even in the case of Guru, he'll say, in the case of long-term disciples of a Guru, maybe they've seen the Guru when he was in a young form, and then later a middle-aged form, or then an older form. But what is the Guru? Is he any one of those particular forms? Or really, as Prabhupada said, the Guru appearing in an infinity of forms that teach you and me and all others how to serve Krishna. In Gaudiya conception, Guru Maharaj gives the example of the Himalaya. in many different ways. And actually, I remember when I was reading Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna saying, of this I'm that, and of this I'm that. When it came to mountains, I thought, oh, now he's going to say Himalaya. And he said, of mountains I'm Sumeru. And I thought, no, I thought it was going to be like Everest or the Himalayas. Then a little bit later he said, of immovable objects, I'm the Himalaya. And that sat with me for a long time till I heard Guru Maharaj say, and on the basis of this sloka, Brahmanishtam, Brahmanupasamasrayam. He's so fixed in the spiritual conception, he's immovable. So Guru is heavier than the Himalaya. One lesser known meaning of the word Guru is heavy. And what are we told? The word for disciple? Lagu. So Guru heavy, disciple lagu, means light. So who is light needs to connect to who is heavy or immovable by any amount of misconception. So anyway, so there is established a Guru concept with the Himalayas. But then to continue it further, he said, just as Everest, from the greatest distance, is the highest peak, we can focus on that highest peak and then make our approach. He said, but the proof that we are coming nearer is encountering so many subordinate peaks surrounding Everest. So in a similar way in Bhagavad Gita it says, Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. There, bahunam janmanan ante gyanavan mam prapadyante. It's very rare through the culture of knowledge to come to the point of understanding that Vasudeva, Krishna is everything. So Guru Maharaj tells us this is the first personal conception of the infinite beyond the mundane world and the outskirts of the Vaikuntha world, Vasudeva. But we know Krishna proper means Krishna with his potency. He's saying, so focused on that, you begin making your approach. What's the proof you're coming nearer to Everest? Coming connection with the subordinate peaks surrounding Everest. What's the proof that you're making progress in Krishna conception? Coming in close connection with those who are surrounding Krishna. Right? So when Chakrabarti Thakur in Gaurvastakam says, Sakshad hari tenastamasta shastre uktastathabha vyateva sadhi, that we can understand from the scriptures that Krishna and Guru are identical. Acharjam mam vijaniyat. Krishna is saying, don't see, even though you may see so many human symptoms, from an objective point of view, look purely objectively at Guru and see, I am there. I'm revealing myself to you. It's the absolute descending and relative circumstance through his agent to reveal himself. But then Chakrabarti Thakur says, Kintu praboya priya eva tasya. But if having focused on Sri Guru, we look with greater scrutiny, closer examination, who will we see Guru revealed to be? Prabhu Priya, the one who is most dear to Krishna. So we know Janava Devi in her in her days of visiting Vrindavan, Das Goswami was there in his final days under the care of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And he says in his prayer, Manashiksha, really we should see Guru as Mukunda Preshta, or Govinda Preshta, the one who's dear, Prabhu Priya, the one who is most dear to Krishna. Again, that's a general thing. Of all of those who are dear to Krishna, who is the most dear to Krishna? Will have to be Srimati Radharani. So back to Guru Maharaj's Prapana Jivanamritam. He says, Guru Rupa Harim Gauram Radha Ruchi Ruchavritam. When Krishna wants to teach devotion to Krishna, the Guru Rupa of Hari or Krishna, Guru Rupa Harim Gauram, is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Why is he Gauranga? Radha Ruchi Ruchavritam, enveloped in the heart and halo of Radharani. Shama Sundar has become Gauranga Sundar. We can say he is illumined by her type of devotion. So, before coming in connection with Srila Guru Maharaj, we like to think of ourselves as members of the Krishna consciousness movement, right? Known in the popular imagination as the Hare Krishna people, the Hare Krishna movement, everything about centered on Krishna. And still it is, of course. But coming in connection with Srila Guru Maharaj, this shift took place. That Krishna Das, the eternal servant of Krishna, took on some new connotation, where he's saying, really, all devotion to Krishna is being transacted by Srimati Radharani, and by extension, Guru. And supporting this from Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur and Raghunath Das Goswami, Guru Maharaj revealed to us, he said, really our aspiration is Radha Dasyam, the servitorship of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. He encapsulated that in the conceptual architecture of the Mats Pranama, Sri Radha Padasevanamritamaho, saying this was the gift of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to the world in the form of the Krishna consciousness movement. That really all this implied service to Krishna is being conducted through the agency of Srimati Radharani, and by extension, her delegation, our Guru Varga. So, our good fortune has been to come in connection with those agents. Right? Even we heard from the very beginning when Srila Prabhupada, Swami Maharaj, was a baby, and sadhus would come to his house, and his mother would ask for some blessing. She would say, please bless my child that he may become a servant of Srimati Radharani. Right? From there, beginning, middle, and end. So, we could say her interest is increasing the number of servitors or devotees. So on her order, sometimes Guru Maharaj says, what we're trying to do is follow the suggestion of Srimati Radharani. And what is her suggestion? That the numbers of the devotees shall be increased. So when that order is translated from our Guru Varga, it comes down to us that all of us, we have some tacit obligation to extend what's been freely given to us to others. It's not that we have like a special group of preachers. They alone shall preach. But actually, every last member of the Krishna consciousness movement has this sort of obligation to fulfill. Whatever's been given to you, you're supposed to extend that to others. Right? Of course, sometimes a little coaxing or help is necessary. Like when I used to have this seva in Calcutta to oversee the milking of a cow every morning. And their method is they bring a cow and a little calf on the side. And then they tie the legs of the calf, and then they bring the calf in, and the calf starts sucking the mother's udder. When the flow is going, then they pull the calf away, tie him up, and then they get out the flow. So Guru Maharaj would say about those who are designated preachers, he'd say, we're very fortunate that we're forced to speak about these things. He said, but, And with that example, quoting the Gita Mahatmyam, which appears in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna's compared to a calf. He said there has to be some necessity from the calf. They need that milk, and that will get the mother's flow going. So the guru-disciple relationship is symbiotic in this way, that the disciple needs the guru needs the disciple. But we might think in this example, the guru is sort of being milked by the disciples. Out of their heart's inner necessity, some flow is coming. And again, Guru Maharaj will then remind us, yes, two sides we may conceive of the guru. The personal side is a Vaishnava, and the inspired side is the guru. Right? And what flows is according to the necessity of the disciple. So once someone wanted to introduce a type of worship, Shadbhuj, which means a six-arm form, two of Ramachandra, two of Krishna, and Mahaprabhu, and he thought, they're thinking that this, it was in a place where Indians were prominent. They thought, oh, Indian people will like this. There's Ramachandra, there's Krishna, and Guru Maharaj said, was revealed, that was Mahaprabhu revealing his divinity to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, that he's God, who was Rama, who is Krishna, now again he's appeared as Mahaprabhu. He said, but actually our interest is in what he revealed to Ramananda Roy. I mean, Rasaraj Mahabhav Dui Ekarup, Radha and Krishna combined in this extraordinary form. And then he made this point, and a parallel between what was revealed by Mahaprabhu to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and what was revealed to Sanatana Goswami. We know that after taking sannyas and traveling in South India, well actually before going, that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, before he understood fully who is Mahaprabhu, he wanted to upgrade him to a higher type of sannyas. So they had this Vedantic discussion. And we know after so many days, Sarvabhauma is speaking and he doesn't see any indication from Mahaprabhu whether or not he's following what's being said. So he's saying, you could like nod your head or give some indication that I know this is very high philosophy, maybe it's a little beyond you. And Mahaprabhu said, no, I understand Vedanta very well, I just don't understand what you're saying. So then, and then he's saying, all right, we'll test each other. He starts explaining this famous Atmarama sloka. And what does he do? Gives 9 explanations. Then turns over to Mahaprabhu, what can you do? Then Mahaprabhu gives 18 explanations. He doubles that. Then gradually Sarvabhauma is understanding who he is, right? The Shadbhuj Murti is revealed. He understands his divinity. But later, Mahaprabhu is with Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami says, I would like to hear those discussion, that talk you had with Sarvabhauma, those explanations. And Mahaprabhu, he said, he's a madman and I'm a madman. 2 madmen were having a discussion. I don't recall. He said, but I could say something fresh. So, not touching upon those 27 explanations given, he gives 60 new explanations. Then Sanatana Goswami is thinking, this has left the realm of human possibility. This is divine. He's overwhelmed. He's saying, this is infinite. It appears that you could go on forever. And Mahaprabhu said, oh, why are you glorifying me? Don't you know every word of Srimad Bhagavatam is infinite? It's Krishna. Why only 60 explanations? Every word is infinite. And then he said something very significant. He said, oh, Sanatan, by your association, I feel another meaning awakening in me. And he gave the 61st explanation. And a famous verse is quoted there. It says, Ahang vedmi sukha veti vyaso veti na veti va. Shiva is saying, I know the meaning of the Bhagavatam. He said, Sukadev knows the meaning of Bhagavatam. And Vyas, the author, he may know, he may not know. He wrote it, and he's saying, to what degree he knows this, I'm not sure. And the reason Guru Maharaj liked this sloka so much is it is to underscore saying, what's coming down to the disciple through the Guru, that's Krishna's arrangement. He may even exceed the capacity of the agent, if that's his divine will. And it's the necessity of the disciple. As Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, the only thing I'm certain of is that Krishna wants to grace you through me. That much I know. But everything that's passing through me, I may not fully understand. Right? So it's like that. A drop of the infinite is infinite. If it's Krishna's supreme will, it may even exceed the capacity of the agent. That's also possible. So, and we've lived to experience that. It's our good fortune to come in connection with the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj. What they have extended to us, we realize many times, is beyond our capacity. So we try at times to give some faithful representation of that for the benefit of others. But we don't claim that that is ours. But our only claim, if any, is to be blessed by their divine grace and the good fortune to get their association and service. So Guru Maharaj, he says that really the Guru is the servant of the disciples as much as the pujari or the archak. He's offering the flowers to Krishna. We were talking about one flower tree today. Guru Maharaj says sometimes that the flower may tell you to offer me to Krishna. He may ask you, the tree, please offer my flowers to Krishna. Do that. So it's a type of service. The disciples, they're being offered like flowers to the holy lotus feet of Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda. Having been offered, just as any flower that's offered, then we take that to our head as being sacred. So Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, all in consensus that the disciples, they should be seen as Vaibhav or extension of the Guru. Saraswati Thakur himself, Guru Maharaj said, although we did not like to hear it, he compared his position to that of, he said, when the teacher is absent from the class, one of the advanced students becomes the monitor and takes the class. Guru Maharaj said, we didn't like to hear him say, we're not thinking of him as the monitor, but that's the example that he gave. So, Guru Maharaj at 92 was saying from his heart, we are students, we shall forever remain students. I was just speaking about this a few minutes ago. And he explained also why to be in the position of the student is the best position. He said because a student can make mistakes, a student can be corrected, a student can make improvement, a student can make progress. So he said the position of a student is the most dynamic one. So I observed in the interaction of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, after I had more extensive association with them, I saw, oh, there's the master-disciple relationship, but then they're like friends. And I once observed that to them, and I said, you're like friends, really. And they were like, yes, actually, we're mainly friends. Our master servant, that's a more formal thing. It's there in the background, but we're friends pursuing this together. Saraswati Thakur, when he says, what is that? Vipada Udaran Bandhugan. He's telling his disciples, you're my friends, and not only that, you're my saviors. We're saying, no, the Guru's saving the disciple. We can show you in so many verses. But Saraswati Thakur is saying, no, you're all my saviors. You're saving me from this infected environment and world. And by your heart's inner necessity and my having to address that, you've become my saviors. Back to Guru Maharaj saying, we're very fortunate. We're forced to speak about all these things, about the greatness of Guru, Vaishnava, Radha Govinda. So it's a very sweet, symbiotic, reciprocal relationship between the Guru and disciples. And I had the good fortune to observe that in the case particularly of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev and their interaction with one another. And Srila Guru Maharaj, that was his mood also, that like an excited child inspired about a bright, beautiful future prospect. He's saying, let us go together in this search for Sri Krishna. Whenever I became overwhelmed thinking about my own lack of qualifications, my ultimate adjustment was that I would think, yes, but Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, they speak to this potential, this reality potential, this servitor identity, this servitor potential. And who do you believe in? Do you trust your own eyes or them? And that's what, when Guru Maharaj says to Guru, you're going to believe me or follow me or your own mind? As well as we think we know ourselves, it's an illusory self that we're mostly acquainted with. Right? We rather like to believe in the prospect of the servitor identity, of the spiritual self that is envisioned by Guru and Vaishnava. And therein lies our hope and our prospect. Hare Krishna. So that's my little talk for the day. Someone else can say something, just a few words. You're the senior person here. Bhakti Lalita Devi Dasi.
I'll just say a few prayers directly to you because I'm sitting at your feet here. We're celebrating your Holy Appearance Day. And it's a very happy day for us. We're all in a very festive mood. And for days now we've been preparing for this festival, and everyone's busily engaged in cooking and gardening and decorating and picture framing and all kinds of things, preparing for this day. And it's just been our great happiness to be assembled here, to be in your association, and also we know it is by your grace we're all here anyway, whether everyone knows it or not. You're the one who brought Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Gurudev's teachings and connection to the whole world. Before you did that, no one knew about the Chaitanya Saraswat Math. A few fortunate souls from abroad may have known, but their glories and connection have been broadcast all over the world, extended to the whole world through your service and through your preaching. So we're all here as particles of grace, of your grace, and having this connection.
Hare Krishna.
We're so indebted to you.
Hare Krishna.
Also, day to day.
And if it wasn't for Avadut Maharaj, most people would not know about me. What you say is, I'm accepting the truth of what you say. My good fortune to promote Guru Maharaj. That's it. But this place where we are assembled, I would be remiss not to express my appreciation to Srila Avadut Maharaj and his team. For the last 15 years, I've been surrounded by Russian women. And men. You're next. But I just have to say, they don't expect a lot of praise. That's why they're praiseworthy, the Russian women and the Russian men. We have so many them, they're like genius guys, and the women are super dedicated. They just go on. And actually, even the Chinese devotees, they know the secret about Chiang Mai is the Russian women. You come here and you get their association and the men, but the men won't mind if I praise the Russian women also. So, and that's, again, by Avadut Maharaj's vision, we're here, we know how hard Haridasi and Vishwa and the whole team worked selflessly that we could have this divine environment, which is now becoming known as Gupta Govardhan. And Vishwa, he comes through 15 minutes, a half an hour, on his way doing seva. Yadu Krishna, others. So I would be remiss not to express my appreciation to them, and Ashutosh Krishna Prabhu, Muralishwar Prabhu, for translating, spilling gallons of blood to translate everything I say super accurately. I've given lectures in Russia where at the Mysterious India exhibition, the people come up, I think they're going to tell me that I just gave a really nice talk, and they walk right by me and they go to Ashutosh and go, that was an excellent lecture. But I was happy. I thought, wow, it must really be good. So there are all these devotees who are propping me up, serving me, assisting me, making me look good, feel good, be happy, healthy, and holy. Yes, Mr. Sundar.
Pleasure to say a couple words for such special day for many people who's coming first time or who've been here for a long time. But personally for me, and I hope what I'm saying it will maybe sharing of feeling of many other people who maybe not speak today, but from my part. And like I say, I was asking myself, what means to be a priest? And recently, in my life experience, I see read some books, watch some movies, see some reality, and I think it's very tough life decision that sometimes man can make. We always in this world following some beautiful ideas or super ideas, Spider-Mans or superheroes or whatever that is, since we're born we try to catch some beauty by following of what we think is beauty for us. But at certain time, when we attach some divine world, some divine dimension, just some kind of little slight touch with something, which is change our world and idea of meanings, what the real beauty is, then we understand at certain level that we are blind in this world and how difficult to find reality of you like to follow it. Like I listening Goswami Maharaj lecture all the time, like since I'm enjoying these groups, and I see how much time and how much relationship Goswami Maharaj has with the Gurudev and rest of the mission, and that has always inspired me all the time, you know, just to following people like Goswami Maharaj, because for me it's like great life example, you know. And I just want to say thank you for be with us so we can be with you.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. I like that. Hare Krishna.
Меня однажды Шьямасаки из Лондона спросила, что любит Госвами Махарадж. Я сказал, я не знаю, я не могу сказать, потому что я не служу ему лично, не могу сказать. Тогда она спросила, а хоть кто-нибудь знает, что любит Госвами Махарадж? И я ответил, Шрила Шидхар Махарадж и Шрила Говинда Махарадж.
Dinashai will translate right now.
Yeah.
He's an authorized translator.
Может еще раз сказать?
Не, ты должен сейчас сам не перепутать ни одного слова.
Однажды Шьямасаки Диди из Лондона спросила меня, что любит Госвами Махарадж. Я сказал, что я не знаю, потому что я не служу ему лично и не могу сказать.
One day Shyamasaki Didi from London asked me, what should Goswami Maharaj like eating?
Yes? Я сказал, я не знаю. Она...
I say, I don't know because I am not servant of Goswami Maharaj, not his personal assistant.
Тогда она спросила, хоть кто-нибудь знает, что любит Госвами Махарадж?
Then she asked, does anyone knows about this? Something.
Я ответил, что Шрила Говинда Махарадж и Шрила Шидхар Махарадж.
I answered, Шрила Говинда Махарадж knows, Шрила Шидхар Махарадж knows.
Поэтому что я могу сказать о Госвами
What can I
Махарадже?
say about it?
Голос Госвами Махараджа, он на меня действует как вот. Есть история про Мадхавачарью, который решил оставить тело и войти в тело царя, чтобы получить материальный опыт. Да. И тогда он сказал своим ученикам, через год повторяйте мантры, чтобы мое сознание вернулось в то тело, в мое тело.
There's a story about Shankaracharya. When he left his body, consciously left his body, and he says to his disciples, after a year you should chant some special mantra to return me in this body.
И вот голос Госвами Махараджа у меня является пробуждающим все время. Когда я его слышу, даже когда я не понимаю, что он говорит, всегда он пробуждает меня к реальности. А только
Goswami Maharaj's voice is like this for me. I just return in my body. When I heard, I return to reality when I heard his divine voice.
А те концепции, которые он говорит, это дает направление в этой реальности, движение в этой реальности.
And Srila Goswami Maharaj's conception gave direction. Direction show the path in this reality.
Поэтому слушайте лекции Госвами Махараджа.
So just listen to the Goswami Maharaj classes. Again and again.
Дандават.
Dhannavan, Hare Krishna. When I said about eating, when I would go to the mat, Guru Maharaj's sister was like looking out for me. I think she knew I was a little like fragile. So sometimes she would come with a little, like, in her cloth, she had this little vial of ghee and like take a teeth and put some ghee on my plate like that. Like very, But Gurudev, he would always make sure I got begun bhaja, fried eggplant, And I was a little oblivious about it. And I remember once, after I was gone for a while, I came back to the mud. All these devotees were really happy to see me. And they were saying, it's so good to have you back, and we're so happy. And it just seemed like too much, right? And then I realized, when I came, Gurudev was making the Begun Bhaja. When I went, there wasn't any Begun. So they were saying, we're so happy to see you again. Right. No.
In the language of your choice.
Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
As scientific process require, we can just concentrate on some facts. Yes. Facts are Srila Goswami Maharaj was first disciple of Srila Swami Maharaj, who were in Western countries to preach Krishna consciousness. Srila Swami Maharaj chose Srila Goswami Maharaj to preach especially for Western devotees. So we can see that all his life Srila Goswami Maharaj said to perform this task. And due to order of Srila Swami Maharaj, he looked after deep understanding of Siddhanta, and naturally he came to Srila Shikshara Maharaj, to Shiksha Guru of Srila Swami Maharaj, because Srila Swami Maharaj said, Srila Shikshara Maharaj is my Shiksha Gurus. I accept him as my Shiksha Gurus, even me, he said. So naturally, Srila Goswami Maharaj came to the service of Srila Shikshara Maharaj after Srila Swami Maharaj disappearance from this world. And I remember one article of Srila Goswami Maharaj, it titled Leap to Infinite. Leap to Infinite. Leap to Infinite. Leap to Infinite. It told in this article that when he came to the lotus feet of Srila Shikshara Maharaj, that it was like all his previous life was destroyed completely. So many troubles, so many. There was so many difficulties in personal life of Srila Goswami Maharaj due to this. But in spite of all these difficulties, he came to Srila Shikshara Maharaj and began to serve, and he has very special serve to Srila Shikshara Maharaj. And Srila Shikshara Maharaj himself appreciate his service, because Srila Shikshara Maharaj said, all this book, like Search for Krishna, Reality is Beautiful, and Life and Search for Last Servant, and Subjective Evolution of Consciousness, Shri Guru and His Grace, Golden Volcano. Oh, all the devotees know that in our mission, they 5 books known as Моисей, как Моисей по-английски? Как Моисей по-английски? Moses's 5 books. Moses's sacred 5 books for our mission, because it was inspired by Srila Shikshara Maharaj himself, and Srila Goswami Maharaj as completely прозрачный, transparent, mediate, represents these books to the Western world. And Srila Goswami Maharaj systemized some thoughts of Srila Shikshara Maharaj so nicely that when Srila Shikshara Maharaj saw it, he said, Srila Goswami Maharaj is like Vyas. I forget maybe. Like Vyas. Veda Vyas. It was comparison of Srila Shikshara Maharaj, not from ordinary people, not from not one's opinion, but it was real words of Srila Shikshara Maharaj himself. So we can understand from this appreciation of great Vaishnavas, of superior representatives of the superior world, like Srila Shikshara Maharaj, we can understand what real position of Srila Goswami Maharaj has. His position is very high, is very high and it will stay very high for us forever, from time to time, from all our lives. Because this principle of Guru, one of the most important principles of Srila Sridhar Maharaj books, Sri Guru and His Grace, this Guru principle, Guru Tattva, reveals in pure heart of Vaishnavas. And this divine energy of Guru Tattva, it will become permanent object of our worshiping. And I don't know, is it correct or not, but I think sincerity is some type of excuse. As I can see, we can see like Govinda Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Sridhar Maharaj, they are together. And maybe, I don't know, is it correct or not, but maybe we can see Srila Avadut Maharaj and Srila Goswami Maharaj like this, like, how to say, avatari and avatara. It was expression of Srila Govinda Maharaj. Srila Govinda Maharaj, in one article, he says, I look at these two, on Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Swami Maharaj, like avatari and avatara. Like Srila Sridhar Maharaj is the source, and Srila Swami Maharaj is like avatara, like supreme receiver of the mercy, supreme distributor of the mercy. So we may look at this two great persons like this, like source of great mercy and like great distributor, great, most merciful.
One on this point, I'll say that we can all learn from this. In devotional life, you find devotees who are complements to one another. And Jiva Goswami says, Bahu bir militat tadeva sankirtanam. Sankirtan is when many come together to glorify Krishna. So we find where we're lacking, another devotee has some proficiency, and vice versa. So together as a team, whether to speak of two or more, we complement one another. And that's true. So as opposed to thinking, I alone shall go on by myself, and someone can do that, but Sankirtan means a group effort, the team effort, and that's what we see. You know, practically this mission is all about, and particularly the Russian mission in here, working as a team over so many years. So Avadut Maharaj and I working together, and everybody, you know, who surrounding us working together. That's how all these things happen, wonderful things. And when we hear, you know, the spiritual world, we hear about groups, group leaders. They have groups there and group leaders, and it's a wonderful thing. So, from that point of view, I can accept. Hey Krishna.
Srila Bhakti Maharaj ki
Jai. Okay.
Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki, всем Вайшнавам ki. Динаш Рай столько много всего сказал, что... А? Не, по-английски.
He can speak Ruski, you can translate
Yes.
to me.
Шрила Госвами Махарадж занимает положение гуру. Здесь присутствуют непосредственные ученики Госвами Махараджа.
Srila Goswami Maharaj take position of Guru, and there are his disciples present.
Но также мы знаем, что Шрила Госвами Махарадж ученик 3 гуру.
We also know that Srila Goswami Maharaj himself is the disciple of three gurus, three great gurus.
В своей лекции Госвами Махарадж как раз говорил об этой концепции гуру и ученика.
Srila Goswami Maharaj mentioned this conception of guru disciple in his class.
Госвами Махарадж принял прибежище у Свами Прабхупады.
Srila Goswami Maharaj took shelter Srila Goswami Maharaj took shelter of Srila Swami Maharaj.
И после его ухода, благодаря жажде своего сердца, он пришел к Шридару Махараджу.
And after departure of Swami Maharaj, he feeling жажда. Жажда, как сказать? Скажи, пожалуйста.
Thirst.
Thirst in his heart came to the lotus feet of Srila Maharaj.
В пранама мантре Госвами Махараджа выражены две важные идеи.
There are two many important ideas in pranama mantra of Srila Goswami Maharaj.
Там сказано одна из идей это Говинда Прештхам Ашрая.
One is Govinda Preshtham Ashraya.
Это значит, что Госвами Махарадж любимец Говинды.
He is very dear to Govinda.
В двух значениях Говинды, Господа
senses.
Говинды и
Lord
Шрила
Govinda
Говинды Махараджа.
and Srila Govinda Maharaj.
И также там сказано в самом конце Шридхарам Падасевам.
And the other idea is Shrikhara Padaseva.
Госвами Махарадж принял прибежище у стоп Шрила Шридара Махараджа.
Goswami Maharaj took shelter at the lotus feet of Srila Maharaj.
И мы знаем, что Шрила Шридар Махарадж был очень счастлив тем, что Шрила Госвами Махарадж проповедовал в западном мире.
We know that Srila Maharaj was so happy of Srila Goswami Maharaj preaching in the Western world.
И он явил замечательные книги, о которых упоминал Динашрая Прабху.
Srila Goswami Maharaj revealed these five divine books.
Сам Шридар Махарадж называл их 5 божествами.
Srila Maharaj called them 5 deities.
Однажды Шрила Говинда Махарадж сказал Госвами Махараджу, что Махарадж, вы за несколько лет сделали столько, сколько я не сделал за много десятков лет, находясь рядом со Шридаром
One
Махараджем.
day Srila Govinda Maharaj says to Srila Goswami Maharaj, "Oh Maharaj, you made for some years so much that I can do for many десяток, как бы десяток for many dozens of years.
И в свою очередь Шридара Махарадж перед своим уходом, незадолго до своего ухода, он буквально тряс Госвами, как я слышал, по крайней мере, в изложении Ашрама Махараджа, тряс Госвами Махараджа за плечи и просил, пожалуйста, я буду очень счастлив, если ты будешь служить Говинде Махараджу.
Before his disappearance from this world, Srila Maharaj called Srila Goswami Maharaj and he shakes him on the shoulders. He embraces him on the shoulders and shakes him and asks him, "Serve Govinda Maharaj. You should serve Srila Govinda Maharaj."
И вот эта связь с двумя гуру, с Говиндой Махараджем и Шридаром Махараджем прекрасно выражена в пранама мантре. Очень изящная.
And this relationship between Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Maharaj are so nicely expressed in this pranama mantra.
Да, Vyasa Puja Шрила Госвами Махарадж ки.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Swami Maharaj, he once said that we have, Avadut Maharaj as the most dynamic Hare Krishna preacher in the world. So, and I would like to say that I'm not the one to give any certificates, but let's think about it, that we all know that Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he has the greatest, the highest conception of Hare Krishna, in the world. And Srila Gurudev, who is the successor and the continuation of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he said many times that we have Goswami Maharaj, who is the mostly fully representing the conception of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So logically, that means that we have Goswami Maharaj, who is the highest, the carrier of the highest Krishna conception in the world. So how much fortunate we are to have like the greatest preacher in the world and the the carrier of the highest conception in the world. So, you know, this is our incredible fortune, and when I think of this, forgive me for like a mundane example, but we're just like after school kindergarten ukulele club with Jimi Hendrix live sitting upstairs. And when Goswami Maharaj says that we work together very nicely as a team, that's like I envision like a poster like Jimi Hendrix concert with the orchestra of kindergarten ukulele, like, and it's like working together nicely, very good. So forgive me for a mundane example, and
we forgive you. Consider yourself forgiven.
So, but that's just really like vivid picture in my mind. And I remember Goswami Maharaj, it's like obvious that he is like so great and so high, and he's like the divine superhero. And it's obvious, and it was always obvious when I first saw him and in Russia, and in Russia everybody just like worship Goswami Maharaj as like absolutely divine personality. And I remember in Calcutta I was staying in Dum Dum Park and just taking care of Dum Dum Park, and I got very, very sick. So I was very sick for a few days, like I couldn't walk, couldn't talk, and I just was staying there. And Goswami Maharaj came, and I was absolutely shocked. Like I was just like a soldier sitting somewhere like in the very remote, like kind of like place where no war is going on, and just taking care of a very simple like thing. And then the greatest general coming, and he took and like he stops all his like great things, and he just like went on the internet, started searching for some medicine for me, and like he was taking like very, very big care of me. And I was like there for like maybe 2 weeks, just paralyzed, couldn't do anything. And then slowly, like day after day, he took me out of this, and within 3 days I got better. And every day he would like meet me and talk to me and tell me stories, like how he first came to Russia, how he first came to Hungary, how he first was preaching in the like when it was like social reality, like the communist reality, and all these like amazing stories. And I was absolutely shocked. And when then after getting me better, he left for his like general tour somewhere, and when he was leaving he hugged me, and I was thinking like, wow, how extremely fortunate I am being like a very insignificant soldier, but then the greatest general is coming and taking care of you and shares like the treasure of his heart with you, and then he hugs you as a friend. And that since then I have very, very like deep love for Goswami Maharaj, and not only like respect and how you call it, like, you know, worshipping mood, but also like from my heart very sweet and affectionate feelings. Jai Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
We thought he was going to die. I mean, really, it wasn't looking good.
Шрила Бхакти Судхир Госвами Махарадж ки
Харе
джай.
Кришна.
Джай Шрила Бхакти Бимала Авадут Махарадж ки
Jai.
I will speak in Russian, sorry. Когда я впервые встретился со Шрилой Госвами Махараджем на Вайшнавском фестивале в Запорожье, мое первое впечатление было очень ошеломляющим. Речь шла о том, что весь мир, все научные деятели этого мира заблуждаются.
When I first met Srila Goswami Maharaj in Vaishnava festival in Zaporizhzhia, my first impression was that all scientists, all religious preachers in this world are bewildered in comparison to Srila Goswami Maharaj.
Буквально все. Речь шла о том, что весь мир идет не в том направлении, в котором следовало бы идти.
All the world is going wrong.
И я был не согласен с этим утверждением.
And I was not согласен? I was not agreed. I was not agreed at all.
I asked myself, я спросил себя, что это за человек такой, который отважился утверждать такие вещи.
I asked himself, who is the person who dared to say something like this?
Это была очень странная атмосфера, полутемный зал, бабушки в тряпочках и мурали в толстых очках с скукоченными волосами.
It was quite strange atmosphere, darkness, some Russian babushkas, like sleeping maybe.
И муралишвара, скукоченные волосы и толстые очки.
Looks so amazing, as usual.
Я был не согласен, но что-то засело внутри меня, какой-то отпечаток остался.
And I was not agree, but still some impression in my heart stayed.
Когда я вышел с этой лекции, я увидел Шрилу Авадута Махараджа.
And when I come out from this lecture, I saw Srila Maharaj.
Я был мгновенно очарован буквально его личностью сразу. И
Enchanted.
By his personality, enchanted by his personality, immediately.
И позже, через какую-то возможность служить Шриле Авадуте Махараджу и его преданным, я начал понимать, что то, о чем шла речь тогда, оно действительно имеет место.
And later, performing some service to Srila Maharaj and devotees, I become understand that what Srila Goswami Maharaj said is actually true.
И с каждым разом это все больше и больше я понимал, что то, о чем говорит Шрила Госвами Махарадж, это не то, что это истины, которые утверждены 1000 раз в его сердце.
And step by step, I become understand more and more clearly that truth which Srila Goswami Maharaj said thousands times, how to say, revealed in his heart, yes, 1000 times.
Таким образом, когда я впервые соприкоснулся с Шрилой Госвами Махараджем, я думал, что я что-то знаю.
And when I first met Srila Goswami Maharaj, I thought that I know something.
И дальше с каждым днем все больше и больше я понимаю, что я не знаю ничего.
But then, day by day, I understand that actually I don't know nothing.
И приходит воспоминание примера, да, как муха ползает таракан ползает по телу Достоевского.
And this analogy came to my mind that like ant, таракан, я
Insect.
Достоевский body, insect, Достоевский body.
Что это насекомое может знать о внутреннем мире Достоевского?
How can this incense, what can this incense know
Insect.
about insect? Yes.
И существует ли хоть какая-либо возможность узнать для этого насекомого, что происходит внутри?
Is there any possibility for this insect to understand what is happening within Dostoevsky?
Я чувствую, что моя великая удача... еще один момент. Совсем недавно Аджита Кришна Прабху сказал одну вещь, что Шрилу Госвами Махараджа можно понять только лишь, когда ты служишь ему.
Some days ago, Ajita Krishna Prabhu said that Srila Goswami Maharaj is understandable only by service.
Only by?
Service.
Oh.
Поэтому моя единственная надежда служить хотя бы каким-то образом тем, кто служит Шриле Госвами Махараджу.
So, it's my unique hope to serve to someone who relates with Srila Goswami Maharaj and to serve him.
Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. So, I think, yeah. What time is it?
12:15.
Okay. Because I think I'm going to meet with Chinese devotees in the afternoon. Yeah.
I just don't know like how much fortunate I am, as Amir Prabhu described, or part of my inspiration too. Also, I remember 2 years ago, Maharaj first time visiting Shenzhen, and then we have like few devotees getting initiation. I was in your room, and then you said, "Oh, that's great! You extending your guru's life. You extending my life." So I wanted to say back to you today too, like as a guru and disciple, you really expanding my life and our Chinese brother and sisters' life. Give us an opportunity to service on your lotus feet, and also, like through you, you teach us. Sri Maharaj's teaching, Gurudev's teaching, Prabhupada's teaching, like three at the same time behind you. So this is my inspiration about how fortunate we are, and still I think today I still don't have capacity to fully realize how fortunate I am. We are.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Yes. And we have our first baby, Govinda Charan. He's our first Chinese baby, next generation. Because we have babies in other parts of the world, but he's the first Chinese baby we have, devotee. So, future.
I'm just so grateful to be here, to have the invitation to participate in this, because I realize how low I am by all the devotees serving so, giving their lives for this, and I'm actually not even close to it, not even close to service. So I thought I was going in a good process, but now I realize that I don't know anything. And that is good, because it opens a ocean of service for me. And I really hope to engage more and more and to serve.
Hare Krishna. There is good association here. I'm also taking advantage of it. Hare Krishna.
Я первый раз увидел Госвами Махараджа в ролике. Видеоролик, это был один из первых роликов, снятый. Там был логотип еще аудиоведа. Вот. Ну, я был очарован тем, что я нашел нечто, то, что я искал, и в таком, что это было так красиво подано.
My first meeting with Srila Goswami Maharaj was on internet. I saw some movie. Как ролик по-английски? Clip.
Ajita.
I saw clip. Yes.
We
Yes,
have to
maybe.
give credit where
Beautiful
credit's
power.
due.
Она быть повод. I saw some clip and I was enhancement because what I searched for was presented in so nice and so beautiful style.
I have to thank Ajita Krishna and Pavan and everyone who helps them in Nakshi and others too on the Beauty Over Power series, because really, I mean, someone may not believe this now, we spent the last 3 years or so in Chiang Mai making these recordings, and with Radharaman and everybody else, and the lighting and the miking, like good quality video, good quality audio. And Avadut Maharaj can tell you, I was begging for, he'd say, what we need are some like short things, you answering some short, and I said, Maharaj, yes, I say all kinds of deep things in an hour talk, but I guarantee you there are these little things in there that are more accessible, and you just need somebody to like extract them, make these clips. It's there. And then the Lord sent Ajita. So, and then he started doing that and showing I felt exonerated because what I was saying all along was true, that it was there if you just knew how to like take it out. And then Pavan Krishna and so many others, they started watching this. People I hadn't seen in 20 years are watching it, and we got an excellent result. But yes, Prabhu, continue.
И то, что мне понравилось, я уже начинал как-то проповедовать, но я увидел, что проповедует, что Госвами Махарадж проповедует очень качественно. Как бы он преподносит очень высокие истины в очень красивой форме. Меня это очень привлекло, и мне захотелось быть как-то причастным к этому.
This time when I saw Goswami Maharaj clip, I was preacher already. But when I saw how Srila Goswami Maharaj preached, I was so impressed because so sublime truth and in so beautiful and complicated form were present. Artistic, not complicated, so beautiful and
Artistic.
Artistic.
How about that?
Yes, style. Were presented.
Eloquent.
Style were presented. And I did very like to saw the scripts.
Тогда я не особо понимал, о чем Махарадж говорит, но очень хотел понять.
So I can understand clearly what Srila Goswami Maharaj said, because it was so complicated for me. But I want to understand. From all my heart.
Но переломный момент у меня случился, когда я прочитал цитату Махараджа, когда он говорит, что меня не интересует религия, меня интересует реальность. И я понял, что это как бы та фраза, которую я пытался сформулировать, но не мог. То есть Госвами Махарадж высказал то, что я как бы держал себя внутри.
And when I read this quote of Srila Goswami Maharaj, I'm not interested in religion, I'm interested in truth. And I saw that it same thing what I want to express, but I could not express. And I saw that Srila Goswami Maharaj expressed this truth very nicely, and I understood that Srila Goswami Maharaj is really a sublime person to present this truth of Siddhanta.
И как бы я сделал на эту цитату первый баннер, отправил ее Аджите Кришне Прабху.
And I make my first banner with this quote and send it to Ajita.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
this is how my service out.
И с тех пор я начал служить Госвами Махараджу и начал уже понимать более-менее то, о чем он говорит.
And then I start to serve Srila Goswami Maharaj. And day after day I understand more and more clearly what he says.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Dandavad. I just heard Guru Maharaj. I'm listening to him for 30 years every day. And I just today heard him explain why happiness is a person. That it's not some, you don't try and get, happiness is a person and happiness is Krishna. So it's taken me 30 years of listening to Guru Maharaj and 44 years of pursuing Krishna consciousness to touch that a little bit. And I'm very happy.
Дандават Махарадж.
Hare Krishna.
На самом деле была одна такая история, что в один период моей жизни у меня были определенные сложности в отношениях с Авадутом Махараджем ввиду некоторых моих недостатков.
The story is that one time I had some difficulties in personal relationships with Srila Maharaj.
И совершенно неожиданно в один вечер Госвами Махарадж по скайпу написал мне сообщение.
And suddenly, one evening, I saw that Srila Goswami Maharaj sent me some Skype message.
И я мог сказать, что те его слова, они до сих пор как бы всегда со мной и очень часто поддерживают меня.
And I learned these words by heart, and they are always stay with me.
И на самом деле мне хочется сказать, что я не знаю, как он об этом узнал.
And I want to say, I don't know how he recognized my mood.
Но это действительно очень сильно повлияло на мою жизнь и на мои дальнейшие действия.
But these words changed my life, and I changed my mood, and so I still stay in devotional service, and it's so nice due to gratitude to Srila Goswami Maharaj.
И в целом очень часто так происходило, что Госвами Махарадж, даже, наверное, не ведая этого, очень часто помогает мне.
And even now, Srila Goswami Maharaj helped me so much, even he maybe not know about it.
И я ему за это очень признателен и благодарен, потому что
I'm so gratitude.
это действительно очень важно для меня.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. That's my good fortune. If I can also assist, I'm an aspiring servitor. I'm not an aspiring master. I'm an aspiring servitor. So if there's evidence of me assisting anyone or serving anyone, that makes me feel like my life is meaningful and substantial. It's clear to us, like Guru Maharaj, they're born in Radha days, they sprung out of the soil of Mahaprabhu's pastimes. That's another thing. We worship that. But when we come from another place, and I'm not now going to go into it too much, although I would like to. But then you become, what I mean to say is, it becomes more clear to you what's been gifted to you, as opposed to someone who is like born with some wealth. When you see what's been gifted to you, that's the grace of Sri Guru, the Guru Varga, then you're a little more, I think, filled with gratitude and thanks and wanting to share that with others. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so now we have the little song, arati, some flowers, and then a feast celebrating our Guru Varga. That's really Then afterwards a feast. And I like to remind the devotees that Gurudev, we know how Gurudev, like, if maybe he loved prasadam more than anyone in history. It's possible. You know, when devotees, it's like you say, what do I like? When you ask Gurudev, I repeatedly someone say like, what do you like? He'd go, everything. But he likes some things more than others. But that was his standard answer, everything. I like everything. But that said, he was teasing, and he said after he would leave the world, that he'd be visiting the different ashrams to see what sort of prasadam we're serving. So with that thought in mind today, we will honor that feast as if Gurudev, he's observing what we're taking, and I ask for certain things to be made with him in mind. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Yeah. A kirtaniya. You sing Anantade. Or
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Satma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Satma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Satma Shri Guru Charana Kevala Bhakti Satma Bando Mui Savatana Bando Mui Savatana Bando Mui Savatana Jankara Prasadeva Bhavatoriya Jankara Prasadeva Bhavatoriya Krishna Prapti Khaya Chanta Krishna Prapti Padmavakya Chitte Koriya Aikya Guru Mukha Padmavakya Chitte Koriya Aikya Guru Mukha Padmavakya Chitte Koriya Aikya Guru Mukha Padmavakya
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Jai Sri Guru Guru Gandharva Govinda Sundar Guru ki jai. Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shri Gopa Siddhanta ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Sundar Radha Shri Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Naradi Sham ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati ki jai. Dambadevi Jamuna Bhakti Devi Thoki Devi ki jai. Shri Nityananda Shakti Janavi Devi Avirva Mahamahostabati ki jai. Shri Ram Shakti Sita Devi Avirva Mahamahostabati ki jai. Om Vishnu Pad Vishwavarina Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Acharya Vrindi ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Vimalavadut Maharaj ki jai. Seva Vrindi ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrindi ki jai. Nitai Go Premananda. Jai Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai.